Bienvenidos, Hushamdid, and welcome UMGC learners from the CMIT-455 Section 6380 course for the spring 2021 semester. This is the CCNP ENCOR version 8 curriculum from the Cisco Networking Academy, and in this packet tracer tutorial and video, we're going to be taking a look at packet tracer activity 20.2.1, where we're going to be configuring a basic wireless LAN on a wireless LAN controller. And I actually have a Cisco 2504 controller that we will also be taking a look at running 8.x code, where we can see what the whole host of options that would be available to you might be. In fact, I'll do a few supplemental videos where I show you how to do a password reset, a software upgrade. I even have a 3602 AP that we can connect into this as part of my lab. So we'll get to take a look at a lot of the different features for the wireless LAN controller, at least the 2504. And in this activity, I believe we're going to be looking at a 3504, which is the newer of the wireless LAN controllers. And so here is our topology. We've got our server, switch, admin, PC. Here is the wireless LAN controller. We have a wireless host, and we have a lightweight access AP, or LWAP AP, as you'll hear it commonly referred to. And now keep in mind that CAP-WAP is probably, and that's CAP, WAP, that's probably what you're going to be dealing with more in the real world. So for the lab environment, we've got our settings up here, and here are the objectives. We're going to connect to a wireless LAN GUI controller, or controller GUI. We're going to walk through some of the monitor screen information, implement wireless LAN security. We're going to be doing WPA2 personal, and we'll get that set up. Another activity, we'll talk about WPA2 enterprise. And so let's go ahead and dive in here. So it says wait until spanning tree is converged. And we're going to click on or we could click on the fast forward, but we're good there. So we're going to go to the desktop of admin PC. And it's here on the desktop of admin PC, which we definitely want to give ourselves as much room to work with as possible here for this portion of the activity, because this is where we're going to be working in the web browser here, and we're going to be connecting to the wireless LAN controller GUI. And that's one of the changes in this activity from other activities, or one of the differences, is that we're going to be spending on the wireless LAN controller all of our time in the GUI as opposed to the command line interface. So let's go ahead and type in https://// and let's go be reminded of the wireless LAN controller management interface, which is 192.168.200.254. And let's type that in, 192.168.200.254. Now, this is pretty cool because this is actually reflective of recent, and I'll refer to it as sort of Air OS, that you have on the wireless LAN controllers. And so on my production, or the 2504 that I use with my access points here at the house, I have 5 APs connected, and this is the login screen that I come to with current Cisco iOS. Now, with earlier iOS, you may see something more in line with, and let me go ahead and log out here. Let's click log out. So this is sort of an older screen. And what's interesting, you'll notice the copyright here says 2005 to 2021, but we can re-log in. And so the screen is a little bit different. And here's kind of where it takes me. If I was to click on home, you can see it's going to take us to a screen that would look similar to what we're going to see. But again, this is 8.0 code. As you probably saw here, it's 8.0.115.0. Now I'm probably going to upgrade it to 8.5, which is where my production wireless LAN controller's at. So let's go ahead, step back to the activity. Let's click login, and you can see we're going to get prompted for the username. So it's admin, and we're going to use capital CISCO 123. And it's going to bring up, and it says after a short delay. And so this actually, you got to be very patient here when we're in the wireless LAN controller. Now, again, doesn't it look very similar to kind of what we just saw a real Cisco wireless LAN controller would present to us. I'm going to give us a little more room with which to work here. And again, the WLC is different, obviously, because this is a 2500, physical 2500, 2504. And here we're dealing with the 3504. These are a little bit too expensive still on eBay in order for me to dive in. I picked up the other 2504, which has a 75 AP license attached to it for $200. That included free, FedEx shipping, right? So the 2504 is a great wireless LAN controller, especially if you're going to incorporate it into your lab. All right, so let's go ahead and shrink this down just a little bit here. So we've got to the login screen. So Packet Tracer doesn't support the initial dashboard that has been demonstrated in this module. And you saw a really nice dashboard that kind of gives you a high-level overview. Packet Tracer is not going to show that to you. That really nice dashboard is when you're here on the home screen. And especially if you've got client devices connected, you've got access points that are in the mix. We're looking at rogues, interferers, things like that. So, and again, there's nothing attached to this AP here. So we're just going to go ahead and go back to the advanced screen. All right. So here we are in the Packet Tracer activity. It says scroll through the monitor summary screen. So here is the monitor summary screen. And if we take a look, we can see that it looks like there is a single AP that is connected here, and it's got 802.11a in and AC radios and B and G radios. And so all APs, right, you can see right there, we have one, and that AP is up. If I click on detail here, and again, this activity calls for patience because it does take a few seconds for the screens to change back and forth. So here is the AP. Here's the AP's name. We can see the IP address of the AP. We can see that it's a 3702I, right? And then if I scroll to the right, we can see it's been up for about 45 minutes. The PoE status, it's pulling 15.4 watts of power. And then there's some other information. Again, no clients right now. You can see the number of clients is, this doesn't mean no of clients, it's number of clients. And I'm saying there are 0 clients. There's no clients that are connected right now. And this software version is 8.3.110. No backup software version. And again, there's quite a bit of information here as you scroll from left to right. So we'll go back to the monitor summary screen, again, being very patient and waiting for it to flip back for us. And you can see the license here, it's set up to support 150 access points, right? So that's a lot of APs to be using a 3504. So that's some of the information that can be learned from this screen. We can see the management IP, the software version, the field recovery image version, the name of the wireless LAN controller, how long it's been up, the temperature, so lots and lots of information. Is the wireless LAN controller connected to an AP? Well, we see right down here that all APs, and we see one AP. If I come back to the main diagram, you can see that here is the AP, and it's connected into the switch, and then we connect over this trunk link between the wireless LAN controller and the switch. And so it does see that AP. So the answer to that is yes, it's a 3702I. So click the detail next to the AP. And again, we were kind of already there. And what information can you find out about the AP on the all AP screen? And so we've kind of looked at all this information already. What if I click on the actual AP? Well, unfortunately, it says this feature is not supported in Packet Tracer, but that's okay. Not a problem. So we see that we get a lot of information here. And the I in the 3702 means it has internal antennas. That's what that I means. If it was an E, you would have external antennas. All right, so let's create a wireless LAN. In fact, we're going to do it both in the Packet Tracer activity, and I'm going to move back and forth into the real wireless LAN controller. So you can see what all of the options you would see would look like. And so to create the new wireless LAN We're going to go ahead and click on wireless LAN. I make sure I'll follow it here so that we get the points down. Again, patience is the key here. Now it's kind of weird, right? That, it says create new and then you click go. And so this is how we're going to tell the controller we want to create a new wireless LAN. I click go, and then it's going to bring us over to this screen here. And you can see type wireless LAN, the profile name, and again, we want to make sure that we get these correct. This is going to be the floor to employees, right? So the second floor employees, let me make sure I spelled that right. That is going to be the profile name, the SSID. Now remember, the service set identifier, the SSID, this is what is being broadcast. This is like when you're on your iPhone and it lists out the wireless networks that are available to you. This is what is doing that, right? It is the SSID, or the Wireless LAN Controller, or if it's an autonomous AP, it's advertising, it's broadcasting the SSID that you can use to attempt to connect to that wireless LAN. And so ours is going to be SSID 5. Now keep in mind, there's a common misconception among individuals that by not broadcasting the SSID, like I just know what my SSID is, that is a security approach that I can take with a wireless LAN. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the case, because wireless devices send out beacon packets, right? And so those packets, when sent out, will get a reply back. Especially a bad actor will roll through the neighborhood, sending out beacons and trying to get responses from all of the wireless devices that might be out there that are going to respond. And so even if you don't broadcast the SSID, it can still be discovered. So remember that. Simply preventing the broadcast of your SSID is not a good sort of security approach to take, because by anyone serious about trying to discover it, they can easily discover it. All right, so we've got the profile name in there. We've got the SSID in there. Hosts are going to use that SSID, right? I just talked about that. So we're going to select the ID. Now, not a bad idea here, again, to match this up with the VLAN number of this SSID. So again, not a requirement, just like with sub interfaces, and we're doing 802.1q tagging on those sub interfaces. Sure, for VLAN 5, you can use sub interface gig 00.834 or some random number, but that is not going to help you when you've got to troubleshoot things, right? So why not, if it's going to be VLAN 5 and we're naming it SSID 5, set the ID to 5. All right, click apply, and then we're going to see some points. In fact, we've got 11% that just completed out. And we're going to give this some time to do its thing here. And this is one of the things I noticed about this activity is you don't want to be clicking around really, really fast. And you can see right there, we had to wait probably 5 to 10 seconds for it to move to this screen. So patience is the key. Now, we're going to hold on just one second here. Okay, click apply. And so we're kind of in the way now. So let me drag this back just a skosh. And there we go. It resized nicely for us. All right, so we clicked apply. Those settings went into effect. Now that the wireless LAN has been created, all we've done is create the wireless LAN. And this is the #1 thing that new network guys and gals will overlook. And that is the status, and you have to enable it. By default, it's not enabled, right? And you'll notice they make a point of saying that the wireless LAN's been created, but we have to enable it to make it functional. And so let's go ahead and click on enable. We're going to choose the VLAN interface that will be used for this wireless LAN. And you can see the interface group, this was pre-created for us. this Wireless LAN 5. You notice we didn't do anything to create that. That was already there. And so we'll select that as well. So this is a good point to transition over to a real wireless LAN controller. Let's click on wireless LANs, and you can see here that this is interesting. So again, I purchased this on eBay, and it looks like Telemark was the name of the profile and the name of the SSID that was being broadcasted. But here's our create new, and I apologize, it's a little small. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Let's make this a little larger, a little easier to see. So let's click create new. And so again, the screen looks exactly the same. Now, you'll notice that I've got some different options here. I could create a guest wireless LAN network. So when vendors come into my facility and I don't want them getting onto the production wireless LAN that all of the employees are using, I can go ahead and create a guest wireless LAN. And there's also a remote wireless LAN that you can create as well. But we're interested in the wireless LAN. So again, profile name, and we're gonna, I think we said, and it doesn't matter here. So let's say, floor 2 employees, and the SSID. And we'll just go with SSID 5 to keep it the same. And you can see the ID here. Let's match that to that VLAN, and let's click apply. You'll notice things happen much quicker in the real wireless LAN controller. So again, status, you have to enable it or else it will not be enabled by default. You'll notice that interface groups, right? So the only option I have here is management. And we didn't create an interface group, and that's okay. We'll just leave it at management. And so that brings us to where we're at, back over here on the packet tracer activity. And so we've chosen the Wireless LAN 5 interface. We've clicked on the Advanced tab over here, and it's going to ask us to scroll down to the Flex Connect portion of the page. And here are the two Flex Connect boxes that it's going to ask us to check, and that is local switching and Flex Connect off. Now, if I go back to the GUI and we click on Advanced, and I was to scroll down, you'll see that these options are also available. And you'll notice that when I click the Flex Connect local switching, that the Learn Client IP address, which is kind of grayed out there, checks automatically. And then I can also check the Flex Connect off. Now there's some notes here you'll see. So Flex Connect local switching is not supported with IPsec, override interface ACLs, etc. And then for Flex Connect local auth, max associated clients feature and central associated feature are not supported with Flex Connect local authentication. All right, so we'll come back over here. We've clicked those two boxes. It says click apply to enable the new wireless LAN. So I click apply. Now at this point, again, patience is key here to allow the application of these settings to take effect. At this point, the wireless LAN could be seen, right? If you had, your mobile device and you were looking at the wireless LANs that were available, you would see SSID-5. Now, you won't be able to use the wireless LAN because we haven't secured it yet so that we can connect to it, and that's kind of the next step here. So the new wireless LAN currently has no security in place. We're going to use WPA2 pre-shared key, and then again, the next activity we use WPA2 Enterprise with a Radius server, but for right now, we're just going to set up WPA2, which uses AES encryption, and we're going to set that up with a pre-shared key value that we simply enter in. So in the Wireless LANs edit screen, right, and this is, again, Wireless LANs edit, so we're here for floor 2 employees. We're going to click on the Security tab, and we are definitely interested in the Layer 2 security, and here you can see it's asking us what Layer 2 security are we going to use. And there are quite a few choices, as you can see, but we want WPA and WPA2, which now sort of opens up this new set of parameters that we can look to configure. So we're going to check the box next to WPA2 policy, And that opens up even more options. And you can see when I click WPA2 policy, it gives me the WPA2 encryption. You do not want to pick TKIP, right? TKIP is probably one of the weaker encryptions for wireless communications. And again, I think it's around, more than anything as a legacy option. AES is definitely where we want to be. And we had the same conversation when we were talking about IPsec tunnels, right? When we're using IPsec, we want to be AES 256. That's where we want to be. Okay. And more preferably GCM over the CBC. All right, so we see that we have, where are we at here? I lost my place. Okay, yes, so this will reveal additional security settings under the authentication key management enabled pre-shared key. So you can see down here 802.1x, if I had like a Radius server or an ICE identity services engine, we would be looking at doing something like that, but we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing pre-shared key, and you can see we have a format choice here. And I'm clicking on it, it doesn't actually allow me to change anything there. And so here's where you just type in your pre-shared key. And so the pre-shared key we're going to use is going to be capital C, ISCO for Cisco 123. And if I come back over to a real wireless LAN controller, right, which is this one here, and we come to the security tab, you can see that this has WPA2 policy, AES, already checked, and it's got 802.1x that's already checked. Well, we want to uncheck that. If I was to check pre-shared key, you can see that I could put the value in here in hexadecimal format, but ASCII is what we would use. And then again, I would just simply type in Cisco 123. Right? So let's come back over to the packet tracer activity, because I believe at this point it wants us to apply this configuration. And you can see here that, and this is actually something to pay attention to, when you do this, if you do this during the business day on your production wireless LAN, again, we're setting it up here in a lab environment, not a big deal, but if this was something that you did during the production day, you could definitely see some impact when applying those changes. And you can see that the completion percentage is now at 55%. And so we've got the authentication in there. Yeah, not a good practice to reuse passwords, but again, this is a lab, and so here we are. And now our wireless LAN controller is set up. What the activity doesn't show is if you were to take this controller out of the box, how would you connect to it? Typically, I'll do my initial configuration to get an IP address on there on the management interface. I'll do it through the CLI, right? And then you can also do recovery mechanisms via the console port and the CLI as well. All right, so verify the settings after applying the configuration. Click back, and this will take you back to the wireless LAN screen. So what I could also do is simply click over here on wireless LANs, and this is now going to transition us to the wireless LAN screen, and there it is. WPA2, our authentication is pre-shared key. We know we're using AES encryption. I see here I can remove this wireless LAN if I wanted to. Very critical. Status is enabled, right? That's very important that this, I was going to say VLAN, that this wireless LAN is enabled. All right. Let's connect a host to the wireless LAN. So at this point, we're now interested in this wireless host right here, connecting to this lightweight access point. Again, remember, LWAP is sort of a thing of the past. CAPWAP is a term that you're going to be seeing more than you would LWAP. Okay, so go to the desktop of the wireless host, and we want to give ourselves plenty of room with which to work here. And I'm going to try to set it so that we can see the little communication thing that shows up here between the access point and this laptop. So go to the desktop of the wireless host. Let's click on desktop, and then you've got this little PC wireless right here. And that's what we want to check on. And this takes me back to some of the Linksys equipment. And again, Cisco did purchase Linksys, and then I think they sold them back off again. But this is definitely sort of a Linksys type interface here. And you can see signal strength is 0, nothing. Link quality, no green lights here, right? So adapter is inactive, and that is what we're about to change. So let's click on the Connect tab. Now you'll notice right now, okay, there it is, good. So I do now see, and I think it's interesting, it's reporting a signal strength of 63% here in the packet tracer activity, although it is sitting right next to the AP. But we see SSID 5, right? Because the SSID is being broadcast out, and this is the one that we want to select. I'm going to click Connect. And now here we have the choice, WPA2 Personal, WPA Personal, or WEP. Now, quick word on WEP. I'm going to say the same thing I said about WEP that I said about TKIP. If you are not interested in protecting your wireless LAN, use WEP, right? It is by far the easiest of the security settings to hack if I was using WEP. WPA2 Personal, not so much, right? Because we're using AES encryption. So that's where we want to be there. And then that pre-shared key value, which is just CISCO 123. So we've entered the pre-shared key that we configured. We're going to click Connect. And that gave us 45 percentage points, put us at 100%. So everything looks good there. Now check the link information tab here, and you can see we've got great signal strength. And then take a look at what happened down here in the packet tracer activity. It shows, sort of the, that wireless ripple effect that you might see on some wireless diagrams, but it shows that we've connected up. Click on the, hold on one second. Click the link information tab. You see the message confirmed successfully connected. You should also see a wireless wave in the topology showing. Click on the more information button to see more details about the connection. And here's your more information button right there. And we can see the SSID. We see the wireless mode. It's infrastructure mode. It doesn't give us any channel information. In the real world, you would probably see, or I'm sorry, wireless channel, so the standard channel is 1. Here, wide channel. I'm having problem. I should put my glasses on. You can see the IP address that we've been assigned, the subnet mask, default gateway, and the other information associated with our wireless network setup here on the wireless host. Now, the ultimate test is going to be from the wireless host, can we ping the wireless LAN default gateway and the server to verify that we have full connectivity? So let's pull up the desktop, and actually we want to get out of that setup there. We want to pull the command prompt up here, and let's do some pinging. So can I ping 172.31.1.1? And so we've got connectivity out to router 1, or at least one of router 1's interfaces. How about a ping command out to, it asked for the server, so 172.31.1.254. And let's see if we get out there. Maybe an ARP packet is going to be coming into play here. And there it is. So we've got connectivity there. Can I hit the admin PC at 192.168.200.200? And let's see if we can hit that admin PC. And maybe a little ARP action there. And we've got connectivity. Again, we took a look at what a real wireless LAN controller looks like. I'm going to go ahead and save my configuration here, and let's come back to wireless LAN, and you can see. So they didn't get rid of the original owner's information here. I think that's interesting. So again, I'll wipe this config at some point. So that is going to do it for this activity on configuring a basic wireless LAN on the WLC. Again, what we didn't see and what didn't happen and what we don't know how to do yet is, okay, I take the wireless LAN controller out of the box. How do I get it to the point where I can pull the GUI up? And again, I'll do a supplemental video tutorial on that. All right, well, hopefully this has given you a good feeling about if you had to configure a wireless LAN controller in the GUI, set up a wireless LAN, and connect some clients. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.